The ground is covered with pine needles. They're a treasure material for growing flowers and vegetables. After we collect them and ferment them, we can use them. Pine needles are acidic, and they can neutralize alkaline soil to improve soil quality. They are a blessing for acid-loving plants, like orchids, azaleas, gardenias. Also, some vegetables and fruits, such as blueberries, strawberries, tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, eggplants, and pumpkins, are all suitable for using pine needles. The strong pine fragrance you smell is caused by the volatile oils contained in the needles. These volatile oils can promote plant growth and development, as well as have antibacterial and insect-repelling effects. Pine needle soil is even better when it's soft and fine beneath the needles. I filled 2 buckets with them to take home. This is the pine needles I collected yesterday when freshly collected. Don't use or ferment them right away, because they may carry bacteria and insect eggs. Let them dry in the sun for a few days for disinfection. Turn them over during drying to make it more even. If you see any weeds or tree leaves inside, remove them. For mixing into soil, you can directly wet it with water, put it in a bag, and leave it in the sun to dry at the summer temperature. It will take about 3 months to be ready. My fermentation goal is to make it richer, so that plants can absorb and use it more effectively. So, I'll add some sheep manure. These are the bags I fermented a while ago. The white stuff is fungal mycelium. Sheep manure contains nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and other nutrients, which provide nutrition for fermentation, turning it into a more fertile organic fertilizer. Moreover, pine needles have a high carbon-nitrogen ratio, while sheep manure is relatively higher in nitrogen. Mixing and fermenting the pine needles with sheep manure can adjust the carbon-nitrogen ratio. I also have these 2 things, bacteria and molasses. Or you can use unused brown sugar at home. Just pick one of the 2. This brown sugar is expired, so I'm using it. They help accelerate the fermentation process and improve fermentation quality. You can dissolve them in water and stir. bacteria are a group of beneficial microorganisms which promote the decomposition and maturation of organic materials. Molasses provides energy for the microbes, encouraging their large-scale reproduction and growth, thus enhancing the fermentation effect. You can also directly sprinkle the bacteria on the pine needles, then slowly add the sugar water in small amounts so they can absorb it. Don't pour it all at once. Too much water will make it difficult to control later, and excessive moisture may cause the pine needles to rot. Add water while stirring until all the materials are mixed evenly. Adjust the moisture to around 50% to 60%. The best state is when there's no water dripping. Then put everything into a bag to ferment. During the fermentation process, you need to turn the pile every once in a while, so that the pine needles get enough air and moisture. If you find the pine needles are getting dry while turning, you should add water to keep the fermentation going effectively. When the pine needles turn dark brown and become brittle, it means the fermentation is successful. The fermented pine needles can be used to mix into soil, making the soil loose and breathable, which benefits root growth. After packing everything, tie the bag tightly and put it in a bright, ventilated place to ferment in the high temperature. Did you learn something from today's course?